Gravity Falls has an iceberg. Actually, it has several icebergs made by fans. Just like actual icebergs are dangerous because most of them are invisible, Gravity Falls is the same way. What aired on TV is just the surface. Underneath is a layered mess of cut content, hidden canon, fan-decoded clues, and mysteries that were never meant to be solved all at once. And the deeper you go in this mess, the less this feels like a kid's cartoon, and the more it feels like a controlled leak of information. This video is us going down that iceberg, level by level, starting harmless and ending somewhere the show never officially explains. Every iceberg looks harmless from the top, smooth, quiet, almost boring. But Gravity Falls uses that surface layer to train you, to teach you how to look closer, pause frames, and read between the lines, without ever telling you to. That's why we're starting the level 1 with Cryptograms. You might have watched Gravity Falls 100 times, but if you've never paused to stare at the end credits, you haven't really watched it at all. Every single episode, yes, every single one, hides a cryptogram tucked into the credits. At the start of the series, the first 6 episodes, those end credit codes are simple enough that anyone willing to put in a little effort can track them. They use a classic Caesar cipher, which essentially just shifts every letter back 3 spaces in the alphabet. Think of it like the show whispering, "Go 3 letters back" at you, over and over. In fact, there's a faint voice at the end of the theme song of the first 6 episodes, which, when reversed, literally says 3 letters back. That's not random. It tells you how to decode what comes next. But Gravity Falls doesn't stay simple for long. In the 6th episode, the credits gave a hint in advance, which says Mr. Caesarian will be out next week. Mr. Atbash will substitute. Very soon, you start encountering Atbash ciphers, where the alphabet is flipped so A becomes Z, B becomes Y, and so on. Later still, the show introduces A1Z26 ciphers, where numbers map directly to letters, and eventually Visionaire ciphers, which use a hidden keyword hidden somewhere in the episode itself just to decode the code. And if cryptograms on their own weren't enough, there's Bill Cipher's symbol alphabet hiding in places you'd never expect. In some of the official Gravity Falls books, especially Dipper's and Mabel's Guide to Mystery and Nonstop Fun, Bill challenges readers to figure out the substitution cipher he sprinkled across the pages. This isn't the same code you see in the episode credits. It's a whole other layer of encryption that Bill himself uses, blending his iconic triangle symbol with letters in a way that only the most obsessive fans bother to decode. So what's the point of all this? Why bother hiding jokes, hints, and whole secret languages in the background? Gravity Falls treats you like an active participant, not just a viewer. The show doesn't just tell a mystery. It hands you clues and dares you to put them together. Now, I'm going to reveal the information that most fans don't even know. I know some hardcore fans are going to comment, "I knew that." Go on, no one's stopping you. Tell us which of these you knew of and which you didn't. We want to know how many hardcore fans of Gravity Falls exist. Bill Cipher, for example, almost didn't look like Bill Cipher at all. The version everyone recognizes now, bright yellow, sharp edges, floating like a warning sign, wasn't the original plan. Early designs had him colored green because they wanted him to match the triangle on the dollar bill, but Alex Hirsch dropped the idea because he thought he literally looked like a leaf. So they switched to yellow, maybe because it resembles gold or just because green would have blended with the background. And somehow that practical decision turned Bill into one of the most recognizable villains Disney's ever allowed on screen. But now, Alex Hirsch thinks he looks like a Dorito. Well, he does. Even Bill's introduction follows this pattern. His first appearance, encountered by the twins, didn't start as a fully formed villain moment. Early material shows Bill more like a concept than a character. Something strange, undefined, and funny. Watching that early version now, it feels like Gravity Falls was testing how much weirdness it could get away with before committing to him as a central threat. But believe me guys, that version was so funny if it had aired, you would never have taken Bill seriously. You should watch that whole video. Links are given below. That same trial and error energy shows up hard during Weirdmageddon. Bill singing, "We'll meet again."
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. Oh, I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Where am I?
Feels so natural now that it's hard to imagine the scene without it. But that moment almost didn't exist. The song itself is a real-world wartime love song made famous by Vera Lynn.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when.
And the rights were expensive enough that Disney wanted it cut entirely. Alex Hirsch later revealed that he fought for it in the most Alex Hirsch way possible, repeatedly emailing executives with nothing but the word "please," until they finally gave in and agreed to spend thousands just to keep the scene intact. The rest is one of the most unsettling moments in the entire series, precisely because it contrasts cheerful nostalgia with literal apocalypse. Alex later revealed the full version of Bill singing "We'll Meet Again." Link is down there somewhere. And even then, that wasn't the full version of Bill that the team imagined. Do you remember the scene where Bill introduces himself to the townsfolk in Weirdmageddon?
Name's Bill, but you can call me your new lord and master for all of eternity. Now meet the gang of interdimensional criminals and nightmares I call my friends. 8-Ball, Cryptos, the being whose name must never be said.
During production, Bill was originally going to have his own musical number instead of that scene. A full song leaning into his theatrical, reality-warping personality.
Look at these creatures, not enough features. Cats should breathe fire, bears should sing choir. Very nice. Look at this tower under my power.
The track was written, planned, and then quietly scrapped during development. It's one of those cuts that doesn't change the story, but it changes how far the show was willing to go. Around the same time, the show was also hiding stuff outside the episodes. When Stan runs for mayor, the election doesn't just exist in the show. It spills onto the internet. A real campaign website went live under the name "So What If He Has a Criminal Record?", styled like something Mabel would have actually made. It plays the whole thing completely straight, treating Stan's long list of crimes as a joke that voters are just supposed to accept. There's also a Twitter account linked to the website where Grunkle Stan posted during his election campaign. Another example of Gravity Falls pretending its world exists beyond the screen is when in early March of 2013, the show went physical. Alex Hirsch and members of the Gravity Falls crew took a 4-day road trip across Oregon and Northern California, calling it the Mystery Tour. Along the way, they stopped at real roadside attractions and tourist traps, and left behind drawings of Bill Cipher at specific locations. Fans were given clues to find them, and if you actually tracked one down, you didn't just get bragging rights. Some winners received Gravity Falls artwork, and a few were personally called by Alex Hirsch himself, speaking in character as Dipper or Grunkle Stan.
Hi, this is Kimberly. This is a message. This is Dipper Pines, and I heard that you found one of my symbols that I've been writing all over the place, and I'm so glad you found one. Listen. Hey, Kimberly, this is Stanford Pines, a.k.a. Mr. Mystery. I believe that you've recently been contacted by a nephew of mine, goes by the name of Dipper. Don't know what his real name is.
For a few days, the show wasn't fiction anymore. It was something you could literally chase. That same idea carried over online. At one point, Alex Hirsch posted a Reddit Ask Me Anything, but not as himself. It was Bill Cipher answering questions directly, fully in character, responding to fans like the fourth wall never existed in the first place. Although through Bill Cipher, Alex revealed some canon information. The answers weren't important. The fact that it happened at all was. Gravity Falls was treating Bill like a real entity with access to the internet. Some of the jokes from the show quietly extended into these spaces too. In the series, Mabel once responded to Seuss's comment about the bunker being creepy by,
"Not as creepy as Dipper's internet history. Hey-o!"
That line didn't stop there. During the Bill Cipher AMA, Bill claimed Dipper's browsing history was full of pictures of redheads. It's a throwaway joke, but it exists outside the episode, in a place most viewers would never think to look. Even details that feel like hard canon get blurred. Journal 3, under Blacklight, reveals McGucket's laptop password as Stanford. Moreover, Alex himself revealed the password to be Stanford on a fan-made replica of the laptop. But in the AMA, Bill claims the password is actually Gullible. 2 answers, 2 sources, no correction. Gravity Falls never rushes to clarify which version is true. And then there's the world itself. The Mystery Shack wasn't just imagined. It was inspired by a real roadside attraction called the Confusion Hill, a place famous for mysterious things, a giant shoe-shaped house and gravity-defying rooms. The design was exaggerated for the show, but the vibe was real enough that fans recognized it immediately. Some characters were real too. Seuss was based on Jesus Chambrot, a friend Alex Hirsch met while studying at Cal Arts. Alex even gave him a tribute by using his name Chambrot in the address for Seuss's house. 1 year before Gravity Falls even aired, a video was uploaded of Jesus reading lines that would later sound exactly like Seuss.
Jesus Chambro. Mr. Pines, okay, don't be mad, but I kinda broke your cash register. Oh, I can explain. The buttons, they kind of look like a face, and I was opening and closing it to make it talk. It was actually pretty funny.
Whether or not he was ever formally considered for the role, the character's voice and personality were already there. And Grunkle Stan might be the most personal of all. Alex Hirsch has openly said Stan was inspired by his own grandfather, Stan, a man with swag and enough confidence to propose to a girl only after 3 weeks, get divorced, and then propose again to be his wife for the second time. According to Hirsch, his grandfather's ashes were later spread illegally in a women's restroom at a Las Vegas casino upon his own wish, so he could, in Hirsch's words, see the ladies undress forever, which somehow feels exactly on brand. Even some of Gravity Falls' most annoying characters came from real life. Bud Gleeful and the family Automart weren't exaggerated for comedy. They were inspired by an actual low-budget car dealership commercial Alex Hirsch saw while on a family vacation in Orlando. The over-the-top sales energy, the awkward slogans, the forced friendliness.
Are you looking for a Jeep? Call me right now. I sell it cheap. Daytona, Sanford, Orlando, Kissimmee. Get in your car. Come down and see me.
All of it was pulled straight from that commercial airing out of Melbourne, Florida. The show didn't heighten it much. It just copied the vibe and dropped it into Gravity Falls.
Friends, I wish I was a highway so I could have the honor of being rode upon by automobiles as fine as these ones right here. Engine possum at no extra charge.
Alright, welcome to Level 2. This is where Gravity Falls stops being fun facts and starts getting weird in a quiet way. Stuff that was cut, scrapped, or pushed outside the episodes lives here. Hidden on websites, buried in deleted scripts, or unlocked only if fans dug deep enough. It's not full conspiracy mode yet, but it's definitely not casual anymore. One of the deeper online pieces tied to Gravity Falls isn't an official Disney site at all. It's a fan-created project called The Mystery of Gravity Falls. Launched back in 2012, the site wasn't just a simple fan hub. It had tools to encode and decode the exact ciphers used in the show, a catalog of solved puzzles, and symbol maps. It included a wheel of intrigue that let you explore Bill Cipher's zodiac and click into related characters. a converter for things like Caesar, Atbash, A1Z26, and Visionaire ciphers, and hidden symbolic pages that mirrored the cryptic feel of the series itself. While the show's creators didn't make it, it became its own kind of extended puzzle world. If you wanted to actually understand the code instead of just watching YouTube explanations, this is where you ended up. Another little recurring mystery appears right on the walls of the Mystery Shack itself, a banner for something called the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel. It shows up in the background all over Season 1 and Season 2, in the gift shop and hanging in Stan's living room, but it's never explained on screen. Its name was first revealed in the online game Mystery Shack Mystery. In the Gravity Falls box set, a hidden commentary for Land Before Swine finally clears it up. Stan casually mentions that the Fez actually belonged to his father, Philbrick Pines, who used to come home late once a month for meetings. According to Stan, it was basically a Masonic-styled lodge, just a bunch of old guys performing rituals and worshiping a fish in a tank, all framed around brotherhood. Soon after the show ended, information started circulating about episodes that never made it to air. Mike Rianda, one of the writers of Gravity Falls, revealed some of his notes. One of the darkest episodes was a scrapped concept sometimes referred to through early notes as an unexpectedly horror-leaning episode, involving a wraith-like entity called the Watcher. The outline leaned heavily into straight horror, with imagery inspired by classic genre films like The Watcher, was inspired by the classic horror movie Uncle Boone Me, Who Can Recall His Past Lives. It even included Toby Determined dying on screen from a heart attack, not as a gag, but for real. According to notes from the development stage, the episode was abandoned entirely before production because it didn't meaningfully serve the main cast, not because it was too dark, which somehow makes it worse. Another unused idea went in a very different direction. An episode titled Jimmy Snakes would have introduced an old biker friend of Stan's who rolls into Gravity Falls carrying a supernatural Ghost Rider-style curse. While the episode itself never happened, a trace of it survives. Stan's biker helmet and biker gang-style jacket can be seen in his cupboard during Scarioke, originally intended as a quiet hint toward that storyline. The same thing happens earlier in Season 2 with a deleted TV interview scene that never aired. The scene was an interview with the Pines family and some other folks about the happenings of the last episode of Season 1, Gideon Rises. Dipper also tried to warn in his segment about the weirdness going on in the town and is labeled a crackpot. It's a hilarious scene. The scene doesn't rewrite canon or reveal anything shocking. It just shifts the tone slightly, suggesting the town might be more aware of its own weirdness than the final cut lets on. Even the show's beginning wasn't what we eventually saw. Before Gravity Falls was approved as a full series, Alex Hirsch was asked by Disney to create a pilot episode to pitch the show. That pilot existed, but Hirsch wasn't happy with how it looked or felt. When the show was greenlit, he scrapped the original production approach and aired his own team instead. And that's how we got the legendary show. For years, the pilot stayed locked away, until it was finally uploaded in full on August 3, 2016, released as a reward after fans completed Bill Cipher's final puzzle in Cipher Hunt. You can watch it on YouTube or on the website where it was originally uploaded. Link is in the description, with the password and username required to access. That pilot also reveals something strange about the Gleefles. In early versions, Gideon and Bud weren't carnival con artists. They were written as government agents. Gideon's suit originally made more sense in that context, complete with an American flag pin, and his hair was blonde instead of white. Bud was calmer, sharper, and far less cartoonish. Agent Power and Agent Trigger can be seen as their bodyguards. The final versions kept some visual leftovers but erased the role entirely. Not everything was cut for story reasons. Some scenes just ran out of time. The unicorn battle involving Mabel, Wendy, Grenda, and Candy was fully planned but removed due to episode length constraints. It wasn't rewritten, it was simply dropped. Others were removed for being too much. In an early script for Weirdmageddon Part 2, Dipper doesn't just defeat Dippy Fresh, he snaps his neck on screen. The moment was written as abrupt and shocking rather than comedic, and it didn't survive revisions. The character still disappears in the final episode, but the original intent was far darker. And then there's Double Dipper. The party in that episode is never explained, but widely believed to take place around June 15th. The birthday of both Stan and Ford is also on June 15th. When Seuss asks whose birthday it is, Stan snaps back, "Nobody's."
Mr. Pines, whose birthday is it again? Nobody's.
His tone isn't playful, it's irritated, defensive. The episode never confirms it outright, but the timing lines up just enough to feel intentional, especially for a show that rarely ignores dates. By the time you hit level 3, the iceberg stops feeling like behind-the-scenes trivia and starts feeling intentional. This is where Gravity Falls isn't just hiding things anymore. It's playing with how you interpret them. Meanings shift, rules bend, and suddenly even throwaway moments start feeling uncomfortable if you think about them for too long. According to Bill Cipher during his Reddit AMA, every image of him acts as a literal window. He straight up claims that if you draw his form anywhere in the human world, it becomes a peephole he can see through. Suddenly, all those hidden Bill symbols scattered across Gravity Falls don't just feel like Easter eggs, they feel like surveillance. Bill's deals don't look so simple either. Take the laptop incident. Bill never actually promised to give Dipper the password. He said he would give a hint, but he smashes the laptop. When he smashes the laptop, the label McGucket Labs is exposed, which is later found by Mabel in A Society of Blind Eye. Technically, Bill keeps his word, just not in a way a human would expect. Even the way Bill seals his deals feels loaded. Whenever he offers a handshake, his hand is wrapped in blue fire. Since he makes his deals in dreams, it symbolizes something totally darker. In a lot of mythologies, blue fire represents protection or calm. But in dreams, it means the exact opposite. A warning, a sign that something bad is coming, which fits perfectly for a character whose contracts always end the same way. And then there's the possession. When Bill possesses someone, that person is dead for the time being. That was also the case when he possessed Dipper. His body was dead. In Journal 3, Mabel mentions that when she touched Dipper's hand while Bill was controlling his body, it felt unnaturally cold. She even asks the question outright. If Dipper's mind was removed, was he technically dead during that time? The book never answers it, it just leaves the thought there. Another theory that quietly refuses to die sits right between canon and implication. Dipper and Pacifica's relationship. Unlike most ships, this one doesn't rely on wishful thinking. Alex Hirsch and Matt Braley have both leaned into this when they showed this scene where Dipper and Pacifica share a hug that's framed with way more sincerity than a throwaway gag. Like Dipper and Wendy or Dipper and Candy. In one episode of Amphibia, Matt Braley, who was also one of the writers of Gravity Falls, gave us a clue. A cryptogram on a wall reads Dipsifica for life. What makes it stick out is how often that implication gets reinforced outside the show. The journal entry in which Dipper talks about the hug they shared and then crossed out, behaving just like a teenager, the coloring book, the DS game, Lost Legends, and even Pacifica's texts. Pause this one. Read again, it's funny and cute. All this keeps circling the same idea, and most of that material didn't come out until years after Gravity Falls ended. Instead of shutting the idea down, it keeps getting quietly nudged forward. It was just left there, not confirmed, not denied, which for Gravity Falls feels very intentional. One of the more unsettling symbolic connections fans have pointed out involves Bill's zodiac circle itself. The design closely mirrors the Manipuri chakra, the third chakra in Hindu and Tantric traditions. Manipuri is visualized as a lotus with 10 petals, representing the 10 pranas, vital forces said to regulate every function of the human body. At its center is a downward pointing triangle, a symbol tied to the spreading of energy, growth, and expansion outward. What makes the comparison uncomfortable is what Manipuri represents. This chakra governs willpower, identity, wisdom, and personal authority, the part of the self linked to dominance and control. In esoteric traditions, meditating on Manipuri is said to grant the power to change, save, or even destroy the world itself, which was required to stop Bill. Whether intentional or subconscious, the overlap feels a little too precise to brush off as a coincidence. This is level 4, the bottom of the iceberg. There's no trivia down here, no cutscenes, no background jokes. This is where Gravity Falls starts brushing up against mythology, belief systems, and ideas that feel bigger than the show itself. Most of this was never explained on screen, and some of it might never have been meant to be. These aren't answers so much as connections, the kind that only appear when you line everything up and look at the story as a whole. At the very bottom of the iceberg is the axolotl, the one piece of Gravity Falls lore that feels less like a mystery and more like a verdict. The axolotl appears in the book Dipper and Mabel and the Curse of the Time Pirate's Treasure, which Alex Hirsch has said is mostly non-canon, except for one scene. He's never confirmed which one, but fans have long believed it's Dipper and Mabel's encounter with the axolotl itself, a massive, extra-dimensional being floating in the space between time and space. When asked who he is, the creature answers simply, the axolotl. When Dipper asks what he knows about Bill Cipher, the axolotl doesn't explain. He recites a poem. 60 degrees that come in threes, watches from within birch trees, saw his own dimension burn, misses home and can't return. Says he's happy, he's a liar, blame the arson for the fire. If he wants to shrink the blame, he'll have to invoke my name. One way to absolve his crime, a different form, a different time. One way to absolve his crime, a different form, a different time. This line doesn't mean forgiveness, it means consequence. In Weirdmageddon 3, during Bill Cipher's final moments, his death speech contains a hidden message when played in reverse. Bill says, AXOLOTL, my time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return. Bill wasn't screaming nonsense, he was doing exactly what the axolotl said he would. Later, Book of Bill heavily implied that Bill did in some way survive, but not as himself. The axolotl isn't portrayed as evil, and it isn't interested in helping Bill escape justice. He says one way to absolve your crimes, which is to change your form, will take some time. He sent Bill to Theraprism for therapy and correction. If Bill returned at all, it would only be as something weaker, stripped down of power, forced to live, suffer, and atone in a form that can't hurt anyone ever again. Which means the darkest possibility isn't that Bill escaped death, it's that he didn't. Fans have noticed some striking similarities between Bill Cipher, the axolotl, and figures from Aztec mythology. In Aztec belief, there are twin gods, Quetzalcoatl and Xolotl. Quetzalcoatl is associated with knowledge, creation, and order, while Xolotl represents darker aspects like death, sickness, fire, lightning, and transformation. Despite being twins, they are often portrayed as opposites in nature. In Aztec myths, when the gods must sacrifice themselves to keep the universe moving, Xolotl refuses to die. In an attempt to escape destruction, he repeatedly transforms. And in his final act, he turns himself into an axolotl, hiding in the water to survive. This act doesn't erase his punishment, it delays it, leaving him trapped in a lesser, altered form. The Oracle is a mysterious being Ford encounters in Dimension 52, one of the many worlds he visits after being pulled into the portal. Like Bill Cipher, The Oracle can see across timelines and possible futures. But unlike Bill, she understands balance. When Ford meets her, she tells him, "You bear the face of the man who will defeat Bill Cipher." Ford assumes this means himself, but the wording is deliberately vague. The Oracle wasn't lying, she was pointing to Stanley. The face wasn't about identity, but connection. This subtle misdirection nudges Ford toward reconciliation instead of obsession. The Oracle even gives Ford the metal plate meant to block Bill's psychic attacks. But in doing so, she ensures Ford can't be the one to erase his own memories. That sacrifice has to fall to Stan, forcing the twins to trust each other again. Bill's defeat, then, isn't achieved through power or knowledge, but emotional repair. In Journal 3, Ford hints that the Oracle is Bill's opposite, equal in power but morally inverted. Where Bill seeks control through a single eye and singular dominance, the Oracle sees multiple perspectives through many eyes. Sketches even show her alongside Bill's hench maniacs before being violently scratched out, suggesting a shared past. Two cosmic beings who diverged, one becoming destruction, the other becoming guidance. And the final one, Bill is a meme. Yes, you heard that right. I said meme. No, it's not the same meme you're thinking. Most people think of a meme as just a funny image or video. But the idea of a meme existed long before the internet. In psychology, there's a field called memetics, which studies how ideas spread between people, similar to how genes spread biologically. In this sense, a meme is any idea, belief, or symbol that gets passed on. Things like the earth is round, or don't talk to strangers. Philosopher Plato had a similar concept called the realm of ideas, where ideas only exist as long as people remember and believe in them. This is where Bill Cipher fits in perfectly. Bill is a being of pure energy and ideas. He can't act in the real world unless someone lets him into their mind. His image appears everywhere throughout history, from pyramids to dollar bills, meaning he survives by being remembered. He's literally called a dream demon, and Journal 3 warns to never let him into your mind. When Bill enters Stan's mind, he abandons his physical form and becomes pure thought. Which is why destroying him requires erasing the idea itself with a memory gun erasing the memory of him. Even after Bill is erased in the show, the joke is that he came into our world, because as long as people remember him, talk about him, and spread his symbol, Bill Cipher still exists, as a meme. So yeah, that's the Gravity Falls Iceberg. Quick question before you leave. Which theory messed you up the most? Be honest. Was it Bill a meme, the Dippy Fresh scene, or the one you're pretending you didn't understand but absolutely did? Drop it in the comments, because half the mystery of Gravity Falls is realizing other people noticed things you didn't, and the other half is arguing about it at 2 a.m. If you caught something I missed, say it. If you think I'm wrong, prove it. And if this video made you feel like it's a normal kids show, I have a glowing blue handshake to offer. Hit like if your brain hurts, subscribe if you want more cursed lore, and remember, in Gravity Falls, the mystery never ends. It just waits for you to look again.